everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Let's Be Real. We're going to be talking about all the stories all of you are talking about here in Kenya and abroad as well. My name is Mombasa Road. I'm your host for today. And before I introduce our other hosts, I just want to say a huge thank you to Maybelline, who did our makeup today. Don't we look amazing? Don't we look nice? It's nice. And a huge thank you to Samantha Wines. We have our rosé today. Do you want to say a little bit about the wine?
Yes. So Samantha Wines, available in all the leading wine stores. And I would like to say thank you, Kenya. Thank you, Nairobi. This is officially the fastest, most selling rosé on the market, according to the retailers that we have, according to our stocks. And the grape here is the Bobal grape. It's a Spanish wine, Kenyan brand. Thank you, Kenya, for your support.
It tastes so good,
Continue
you guys,
drinking.
honestly. If you don't have a bottle, get yourself a bottle.
Cheers.
And on that, I'll give our hosts a chance to introduce themselves. Should we have our winemaker introduce herself first?
Yeah, so I'm Dr. C, officially a winemaker, Samantha Wines. I'm also CEO and founder of Samantha's Bridal, Kenya's leading wedding guide, and I'm now a reality star.
Yay. Melvin, take it away.
Hi, my name is Melvin Alusa. I am a professional actor. I am also a father, I'm a TV host, I'm a businessman, and as you know, I'm a leading man.
And CEO, he's a leading man. What are you? Introduce yourself.
I'm Charles Oteno, the CEO, and a media practitioner, and very many other things.
Including leading man in your own right.
Of course.
Of course. All right, so I want to just jump into the deep end, you guys, and talk about our first story. We talk a lot about relationships on this show because everyone is always talking about them.
Yeah, it's big.
Yeah, and Benjamin Zulu, who's like the father of relationship talk and relationship advice, he put out a post on Facebook. And he was just kind of doing a commentary on the way when situations of cheating happen, the women are very quick to blame the other woman, and not so much the man who she's actually in a relationship with. And I think it started a conversation with people of what do you guys think about this idea of every time a man cheats, the woman doesn't put all her anger and wrath towards the man. They put it towards this other woman. Melvin, do you think that's where the anger should be placed?
First of all, the man, you've said when the man cheats. Cheating is both ways. Even women.
Yes.
Even women cheat.
But the men don't go and attack the other man.
Of course, we
it's the
don't
women
go.
Who do.
We don't go. We accept the situation the way it is and we move on. Painfully so, because actually, when a spouse or a partner cheats for a man, I think the pain is more for a man because it may sound as a chauvinistic statement, but it takes more for a woman to cheat, or so we believe, than a man. However, I feel full responsibility for cheating should be on the cheating partner. I should go for my partner and not look for the man and whatnot. Although I feel sometimes for women, since most women want to see the other woman and who is she and where is she and how does she look like, for reasons which you may give to us. I don't know if it's for closure or for comparison, but I feel that I just feel don't get your hands dirty. Just you deal with your man and deal with you also, because what are you doing to make the man go cheat?
Okay.
Or not doing.
Dr. C, tell us. I can't do two men at one go on this issue.
I think so that, Benjamin Zulu is right. That
Yes.
Actually, the back should start and stop with the cheating partner, and I agree with you for once.
For once on a relationship issue.
Yeah, even though
Yeah.
we have to understand, I'm always trying to understand why people behave the way
Yes.
they behave from a scientific point of view.
Yes.
Men are used to just sizing each other up and just taking their positions. So men naturally have just that understanding that, it's like
Of the
they
order.
just said, they
Yes.
understand the order of life.
Yes.
But women, we are the ones who are literally, truly wired to compete.
That's what I think. By the way, I
Yes.
think you're right.
And
Yes.
therefore, you're always thinking it's the other woman who is naturally trying to take your man
Yeah.
Because that's how we are wired. But I think so that seeing that we are no longer in the bush,
Yes.
we are now where we are, I think women should stop and say, you know, like if this man did not want to cheat, then he would have not cheated.
Yes.
Yeah. But on the other hand, do you know the women in this town are really vicious? They are vicious.
Women are very vicious. Yes.
Vicious, and they can decide your man doesn't want, and they will pursue and pursue and pursue and pursue. Yeah? And internationally, we have actually seen Hillary Clinton stayed in her marriage, even though there was all these, what was the name of that girl?
Monica
Monica
Lewinsky.
Lewinsky.
Monica
The
Lewinsky.
Yes.
Lewinsky,
Yes.
the what, you can imagine. At that time, I remember reading magazines, and it was being said that there were women who were having dreams about Bill Clinton. Honestly, worldwide.
Yeah.
I remember reading
Yeah.
a magazine.
Yeah.
So, sometimes a man becomes very attractive to very many women, and they're just there. They're honestly just trying, you know.
Yeah.
You know, things have been turned around, but yeah, women need to just push back and understand that it's the man. But sometimes we've become territorial.
You know,
in
I
that way.
agree with you when
Yeah.
you say that women are very vicious. Women are vicious in a men are not vicious, in a way that men are not vicious
Yeah.
and competitive. Because I think when a man cheats on you, half of the hurt is just like, you let this other woman think that me and her are on the same level, or you let her think that she's above me. That's half of the hurt. And that's that competition thing that women have with each other. When it comes to this cheating situation, I understand why women do that, because I think it's a lot easier to hate this outside party rather than to hate your spouse who you love, you build something with. It's a lot easier to direct the anger that way. But to me, I always say, my friend, did that other woman promise fidelity to you? Like when you guys were getting a relationship, did she agree, yes, I support this relationship? That's a stranger. She doesn't owe you anything. So I think when you're cheated on, by the way, talk to the person who owes you something, who has promised something to you, who has broken something, because that other person doesn't owe you anything. What do you think, CEO? Do you agree?
I think that you've actually covered it well, but first of all, the reasons why women go for the other woman is basic. One, this man has money. She's thinking,
can't. you can't.
this woman will
yeah.
start taking money from this man. What will I be left with? Property. This woman will come, we share this property. Every woman who gets into a house gathers everything to be hers.
Yes.
The moment this guy gets another girlfriend out there, you start thinking, ile shamba ya Kamulu tunagawana.
And then if she gets pregnant, we're
Watoto
done.
wake.
Yes. Yeah.
So this is the problem. The problem, that's why women will always go for the other woman, because she thinks beyond the cheating. Cheating
a
is
threat
just,
to the
cheating is
future.
just a step. But she's thinking that this woman will get, that cheating will lead to property share, will lead to money, will lead
Other
to
children. You
other
can't really
children,
see. Yeah.
will lead, the economy of that household,
Will
when
be-
she's getting 100% will be cut to 50. And remember, there are men who have cheated and even chased their wives out. So
Yeah.
they've learned from
Look
that.
at the king. Look at
Yeah,
the king of England.
Yes. The
Who's
side
the
chick
queen?
becomes the queen.
Yeah.
Well, but there's that also, CEO. But especially, you know, we people from Western, you know,
Yeah.
we are known for. So the economy and the stability of this home
Yeah.
has been what it is, but this man has been cheating,
Yes.
or has a second home,
Yes.
that has not affected this other one completely.
Yes.
There's no
You
such
know?
thing like that.
So there
There's
is,
nothing.
there is, and then we.
At you have two
you
homes and one
realize,
is not affecting
you realize
the other.
during
At
the,
that
you
point-
realize
at
during
that
the
point,
funeral
what's
that they
yours
were.
is ours, what's mine is mine.
And
You
they
do
cannot
that
be.
when you
It cannot
accept
be.
that. But
But
if you
anyway,
say what's
so-
ours is ours,
Yeah.
just you have to stay. If what's mine is mine, what's yours is ours.
There's
I'll
no
take my
space for
half.
anyone else.
And then we come and divide the other half.
Yeah.
And in the same vein of
Yeah.
relationships, maybe I'd like to take this forward and just, nowadays we have, in this era of women being independent,
Women empowerment.
and women empowerment, and,
Yeah.
power to the women, we have cases of when, we have couples that have gotten married, and the norm has been that with marriage, the man gives his surname or to the woman. So you can either decide to drop your your surname for the man's name, or I'm seeing nowadays there's, you put a hyphen. So
Yes.
Melissa Kiplagat stroke
Yes.
Odhiambo or something. So the debate here is, should a woman drop her father's name, in this case,
Yes.
for the man's name, or should she keep it completely? For me, I'll start by saying that you shall leave your father's house, and the two of you shall become one. And the man is the head of the house. And this is no chauvinist at all. But I am the leader, I am the head of the home, I am the man. Even worldwide, we know that it's the fathers who determine nationality. It's the fathers who determine where the children come from. It's the fathers. So that having been said, as a leader, I am adopting you into my home and into my lineage, and even the children you have are going to be mine. So the name should be Alusa. There's nothing for Kiplagat there. I feel that women should actually drop their father's name completely. No hyphen.
Yeah.
For me, I would take it the full, drop the father's name completely and adapt my name.
I think
Documents and whatnot notwithstanding. Oh, you see my documents
no,
and my
but
father's name.
this is the thing, yeah, because I think that is the biggest issue for a lot of us. It's just the paperwork associated with that. Because I remember even Murugi Muni, who's a content creator, she had just come back from the UK and she wanted, I think, to replace her SIM card or something. So she goes and then she realized, oh my God, my ID is in one name, my passport's another name. What they have on record is now my husband's name, but my ID is my name. And so she had to go back home, get her marriage certificate, all these things. It's so much work. And I'm sorry, when you look at the divorce rate today, I do all that work. I change all these documents. You know how much people don't want to do
changing
that.
documents compared to having a family.
And then in
Where
5
we are
years,
one,
if we
where
divorce,
now we
have to
become
change
the
everything
Alusas,
again.
the Omondis,
But you
the
can't just do that
Otiennos.
like we know that's
That-
true, but not legally on paper.
But first of all, first things first, let's look at the advantages and disadvantages.
Yes,
Before
yeah.
even,
Give us
anything
a-
can be done.
It's true.
And anything is worth the effort, depending on the reward.
Yes. What are the rewards?
The rewards would be, for example, if you're marrying into a big name,
Oh, yes.
there are some names that will just open the door.
Oh, yeah.
Internationally, worldwide, whatever. Yeah, sometimes, yeah. Those are some of the reasons why you
There's
change
capital.
the name.
There's
Yeah,
capital
and
in
you
those
go
names.
and change that name the next day.
Yes.
The next day, you go and change
And even
it.
if you divorce, you keep it.
And
you
you,
still
yeah,
keep
and
that
when you
name.
divorce, you actually keep it. And
Yeah.
there have been cases where marriages are broken up, but the only thing the person asks is, I want to keep my name.
Because Trump's first wife kept her name.
Yeah,
She's been
and that's
Trump
all
for
she
forever.
wanted.
Yeah.
She just said she wants to keep her, and that name opens doors.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's one of the reasons you may want to, there's lawyers who can do these things.
Yeah.
All at once, you give them, they do, and they change the name. The other thing is that some people, maybe they don't like the sound of their first names. So they are happy to change the name, and some people it's perceived that you get respect in certain jobs, in certain when you're married and all that, so you remain Mrs. So and so.
And some people want to have the same name as their kids as
Yes.
well. Yeah.
Yeah. So you keep the names in that way. So when you look at the advantages, it's really worth it. And there are times when it's not advantageous at all to change your name. Some women get married later on in life, and they already have built a professional name.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
People know you as so and so. So they don't see why. Maybe in international circles, in the business circles and all that. So some people, they just don't see the need of changing the name
Well,
in terms of, in that way.
No, but in that case, you can keep the names, for example, whatever the name is, but however, attach the husband's name. It's a show of
hyphenate.
honor and respect.
Yes, it's a
Because-
show of commitment.
Yeah, a show of
actually.
commitment.
Do you
Yeah.
think the same
You
thing?
know?
That's the other
Yes.
Do you think it's
advantage.
commitment?
Tradi-
Would you be offended if your wife refused to take your name?
Of course, traditionally.
Really?
Yes, traditionally. A man, for family identification, people called their names, people had a specific name to
Yeah.
call. Even clans have names.
Yeah.
So the way people are named is because of a reason. So if you're a family and this one is called this one, after 20, 15 years, people start wondering, were they married or not?
Or not.
Even when the history is written about that family,
Yes.
it becomes a big issue that people do not know because that family you came from for example, Kiplagat is very fast. I wonder, so
Yeah.
how did Kiplagat come in the 15th century to be here?
Yes.
That's-
Okay, what if she said, because I don't want to change all my names and then we get divorced in 3 years. What if she said, if we're still together in 5 years, at that point I'll change our
But
name.
listen,
I'll change
divorce
my
is not
name.
African.
What is divorce?
But
even?
it's happening. It's still here.
There was ways
What
in
is
which you
divorce
divorce.
even?
There's even songs that were written about it.
Yeah, but it's
that
not
we are
the-
coming to take the cows.
Yeah.
Divorce
Yeah.
is there.
There's
Divorce
nothing
is
like,
there.
there's nothing like divorce in
Divorce
Africa.
is there, but it's not actualized in Africa. Never.
In
Well,
fact,
we collect
in my community, we have something called hukalushisa mama.
Yeah.
It means if I have go beyond even just marriage.
Yeah.
If I have a son with a certain lady, and you know there was no marriage therefore, and she leaves and she goes, when my son grows up, he has the right to go and call the mom and say, "Mom, let's go back to dad."
Yes.
So that door is always open.
It's open.
There's nothing like divorce in Africa. The mom can always come back even via the sons.
Let me tell Dr. C,
What is divorce?
a very simple thing is that when Wamboi and SM Otieno divorced and they got, the case was there in Yalgunga, what happened? The customary law said that these guys were married. SM Otieno still went to be buried where? In the village. So in African culture, even if I leave my wife today and I go and get married elsewhere, that woman will be buried in my home.
Actually, very interesting question. I know we're going to move to the next topic. What happens if she is remarried? Where does she get buried?
That is a boyfriend.
So traditionally, even if she's married legally,
And has
let's
kids
say,
there. That's a boyfriend.
Yeah.
but she'll
In
still be
African-
married at your, she'll get buried
When,
at your
yes.
home.
that is a boyfriend. That is not
It's a boyfriend.
So talking of boyfriends
Yes,
and girlfriends
yes.
and brothers and sisters. Anyway, one last comment
Yes.
on that before I go to brotherhood and
That's
sisterhood and
fine.
boyfriends and girlfriends.
Yeah.
Now, if my name is very prominent,
Yeah.
and I think I said it, or you're from a prominent family, some men
As
even
the woman, if
Yeah,
you're
let's
from
not
a
forget
prominent
that men
family.
actually want to take your name.
Yeah.
Things have so changed, like there's freedom of everything. But that said, anyway, at what point, after being married for 25 years, our former Nairobi governor, Mike Sonko, recently commented. He actually put it on his Instagram status, or was it on
Yeah,
Twitter?
I think it was a video or something. Yeah.
Yeah, that they've been married for so long, a loving kiss over there, that it feels like to be brother and sister
God
after
forbid.
25 years. Who's you? I'm not asking you for now.
Yeah, you married people. Tell me this is not true. Please.
Chairman, CEO, tell
Yes.
us. How
You see-
does it feel?
I think, first of all, I don't take Sonko's issues seriously as a person. Because
Yes.
Sonko, I know the wife Primrose. Sonko really respects that woman and fears that woman. Primrose is an economy unto herself.
Good.
So I think Sonko was just doing those for thrills. But the moment you make your wife your sister, and then you'll have a lot of problems. Because women, even if they are 80, they still need to be loved. They need to be treated well. Those things never change. A woman is a girl inside. You cannot say,
like
now you're my
that.
sister. Yeah, you cannot start today
But
and
you
you're saying,
don't treat your sisters like your...
Yeah,
like,
so
you
you
know,
still-
what
But
are you
you see-
talking
you still
about?
die for
you
your
see,
sister.
your sister, there are things you can talk about family with your sister. The moment you start telling your wife today, you know, we are totally broke. It seems this house is going. Do you know the fire and fury which will come onto you?
Do you think maybe
But that
what-
you can tell
yeah.
your sister.
Yeah.
But you can't tell your wife.
Do you think maybe what he was talking about is like the romantic
Exactly.
sexual part of a marriage
Yeah.
peters off, and now it's just like it's a respectful bond that you guys have that's beyond that.
Women will always want sex. On the contrary, Maina Kageni said the other day,
Yeah.
women were calling his show and saying
Yeah.
that they are leaving their husbands because they are cheating, because this man has never said, I love you. That
we
this
still
man
need
has
it,
never,
yeah.
there's a man who held another woman on a matatu with the shoulder and tapped her. And she fell in love. So women are touch creatures. They need to be touched.
Tender loving care.
Tender love, you can't do without
You
it.
can't
Even
put a woman
25
in.
years
So when you're
later.
saying you're my sister,
Yeah.
you're telling, oh, you're my sister, you're touching like this. She will move.
Yeah.
You guys are
What
imagining.
yeah, what about
But
a woman
I-
who's now been married?
Me,
You've been
so
married
for
quite a
me,
while.
married, how many?
Wow.
20
So
years.
you know, tell
7
us.
of them, 27 actually. 7 of them we knew each other, and then we got married, and this year is actually our 20th year. I think I want to be the last one to comment.
Okay, fine. You comment.
Okay, so for me, I say a girl, a woman has got everything in her father's house except one thing:
Yeah.
romantic love,
Yeah.
sex. It's the only thing lacking in my,
That takes him
Yeah,
down.
my daughter can't get that in my home. So when she leaves, that's what she's leaving for. She's leaving to get tender, loving care
Yeah.
that I can't give her or the brothers can't give her. Affection, sweetness of a man. So when this thing becomes now, because of A, B, C, D and the storms of life, and because we have known each other for so long, now it has turned into a sister-sibling affair. Even me, I'll tell her, I'll recall her back home. And for me, my comments are going to be short on that. A lady, a woman has to be kept romantically alive and loved and pampered, and the sweetness has to be there all her life. Mambo ya kusema ati
Ako 80 wachana
Yeah,
na.
those people have, like, you have sex once a year.
An 80-year-old woman and a 5-year-old girl are the same in
Same.
terms of the need for that care and the love and the sweet. Yeah. So
And present.
and presence and attention.
Okay, I really want to hear from
There's
another
no
woman
sisterhood
who's
there.
been in a marriage for 2 decades. Tell us.
You don't have anything to say about
Me,
that?
I'm not married. Me, I'm here to learn. On this topic, I
Okay,
want to hear. Yeah.
So what I can say is that, first of all, you guys are just making your own assumptions.
Okay.
You're making assumptions.
Yes.
Because I looked at that post, nowhere did it say romance dies. I don't know why you're assuming that he said romance dies. I think romance is still there. The fact that there was even that passionate kiss. And I must say that there's so much assumptions, and this is what I sometimes call ageism. You see, after 25 years, meaning that even if they got married when she was 20,
Yes.
she must be 45.
Yes.
And some people look at people turning age 45, they just think life is over. No romance, no nothing, and it must mean there's no sex, or there's no love, or
Yes.
romance is finished. On the contrary, there's a lot of romance, there's a lot of love, and you guys are just talking about your fears, okay? But what happens at that age, you've been together for 25 years. She's not going anywhere, he's not going anywhere, your brother and sister. Your brother is your brother, whether you like it or you don't. Your sister is your sister. There's nothing like now. I think what Sonko meant was that they're not going anywhere. They are together. They are not thinking of
They're bonded for life.
They are
Yeah.
together for life. It is
Dr.
the way you cannot say you will divorce your brother or your sister. You're
Dr. C.
together.
But
You're
divorce is
sharing
no,
the
but
blood.
Dr. C.
but Dr.
So
C,
don't
divorce,
make assumptions.
but divorce
Let me
is the
tell you
reality.
something.
Divorce is the reality also.
70-year-olds. I want to talk about 70-year-olds. Okay, I was part of, the launch of Viagra in this country when we worked on. I was at Pfizer,
Yes.
which is the world's leading research-based company.
Yes.
They even came up with the corona vaccine. And when we launched Viagra, we looked at some of the assumptions actually people have past a certain age. People imagine that at that age there's no sex, all those things are not there. On the contrary, at that age you have more fulfilling sexual relationships than the younger people. That was a worldwide research that was done. So you guys start making assumptions that when people are in a marriage longer or they get older, that they are not enjoying their sex life.
And
On
if
the
you guys
contrary,
are not know there's something wrong with it, you guys
Yes.
need to work on it.
these are
It's not-
assumptions.
yeah.
It's assumptions people have about the older generation. Yeah?
That's good to know.
Yeah.
Okay.
My argument is that you can still have your wife and love your wife. She does not have, you don't have to treat her as a sister.
Yeah.
But treating someone as a sister, I don't know, why would you, as a sister means you're here for life.
And my
And,
wife is there for
and
life.
so is the wife.
Yes,
And so is the
then,
wife.
but who says that if someone treats you like a sister, who says there will be no romance? who say there'll be no
Because there's
sex.
no romance
Because
between
there's no romance
siblings.
You
there.
guys are making
A sister
assumptions.
is
will
a
remain
sister,
a
a
sister
wife
at
is a
home.
wife, a
I
sister is
suppose
a
you
sister,
just have
a
to
lover
bring-
is a lover.
Yeah.
There's
We need to
nothing-
bring
there's
Sonko
no-
next time to tell
We'll
us
ask-
what he
we'll ask for
meant.
clarification.
But actually, looking at Sonko, I don't think he meant it in the way that he meant. He
Okay.
looks like he's still enjoying. He's,
Okay.
he's still virile. He looks like, I don't
Yeah.
know.
He's very maybe elsewhere, and this is a sister.
Yeah,
I wouldn't
become a
want to
sister.
make those assumptions.
You know.
Okay, moving on. I
Take a
think so
break.
that we are going to take a break. This conversation is getting too heated, but we are coming back with more heated conversations. Stay tuned.
New Superstay Vinyl Ink from Maybelline, New York. Shake up your long wear with no budge vinyl color. Color lock formula. Up to 16-hour wear. New Superstay Vinyl Ink, Maybelline, New York.
Welcome back to Let's Be Real. It's another episode of more exciting conversation with the team here today. Of course, we've talked about many issues about relationships. Now we move into a new segment, and this segment will talk about finances and also go back straight to love. And of course, there's a lot of problems in this country today. If you have 1,000 bob, I don't know what you can pick within a shelf today. It's crazy.
Nothing.
Do you have money, Melvin?
Can we say I'm rich? I
Do you
feel
think I have
comfortable.
money?
I have money.
Yeah?
You know, just as sometimes I look at the like what 10K would do. What
Yes.
10K, just 10K would do.
Yeah.
Yes.
7, 8 years ago, and what 10K does now. And I'm like, what's happening? Inflation rate is crazy. We have people like me, it's an open secret. I'm a single father raising 7 children. I've got 2 house assistants to pay. So all of us are employers in one way or another. The money just isn't enough. Things are so expensive. And so it became during Kibaki's time, it was okay. Then things became what they became during Uru's time.
Jubilee.
You are in commerce,
Yeah.
But I think now, with the current regime, I think Kenyans, we have just had it. Yeah, we just had it. Yesterday, I went to the supermarket, picked a kg of sugar, and so it's for 20. So it's 1 kg is 20. I just put it back because I have got one packet. I have one packet that can push me through the week. I said, you know what? This can wait.
It lasts.
So yes, there's barely money to just. I think most Kenyans are living from hand to mouth.
It's crazy.
It's so expensive even just to leave the house. I feel like every time I leave the house, I'm like, how have I spent 5K?
I will spend 5K.
Or I'm picking random things. Okay, the house helper has called me. You need this has run out. This has run out. So I'm like, okay, let me just go to Carrefour. Let me pick 2, 3 things. 3K there. I'm just like,
It's gone.
for nothing. What do you think, Dr. C? Are you also feeling that?
I'm feeling it, and especially, so for us, okay, let me just say I may be the oldest here. So I lived, maybe CEO,
Yes.
we lived during
Yes.
the Kibaki time.
Yes.
And when they said the economy was growing at 5.8%, we actually felt it.
Yeah.
There
Things
was
were good.
money, things were good, and I just feel so that the younger Kenyans may not really understand like how things were, and the life. And for me, sometimes I make a comparison how life is in, for example, in Europe, and when you come here, life is expensive. Really expensive, and we're just having to cut off what's not necessary. You just leave it. So it's just bare minimums
Yeah.
that people must live by.
Are you feeling that also, CEO?
Yeah, I think it is crazy because if you look at, and I'll go to Kenya National Bureau of Statistics, Kenyan BS report for last year says our inflation rate went high, and our 1,000 bob, the way we knew it, that the denomination 1,000 bob is equivalent to 700 right now. It's actually
Not
680.
Yeah.
If you're holding 1,000 bob, which you used to use 3 years ago, 2 years ago,
It's nothing.
that
now.
1,000 is equivalent to 680 shillings now. That's the inflation rate. That's the cost of living. The cost has gone so high that even the monetary policy we are having is a problem. Because if the salaries guys used to be paid, if you are being paid the same salary as last year, or the year before, it is still the amount which has been eaten by that inflation.
So you can't afford your lifestyle
So
anymore.
you cannot afford that 1,000 has gone down to 680, but you think you have 1,000 bob. But it's actually 680 in value. So you walk into a supermarket, the things you used to pick, the basket is half full because very soon, by the end of this year, the cost of living, our 1,000 shilling will be worth 500 of what it used to
Don't
be.
say that. Kai.
So half the amount. So what you used to pick were full basket, plus now the cost of products going high, taxation, and then you put in that all the subsidies the current regime has removed.
Yeah.
Then you're in trouble.
And school
That's a
fees
problem.
are increasing.
Yes.
Now your kids, you're making the same money, but
The
your kids can't stay in
universities-
the same
the
school.
university is becoming too
Hey,
expensive.
Too
that's
expensive.
mad.
But I think it's such a pivotal time in Kenya today, as far as voting is concerned.
Yeah.
These people, when they reach voting time, and then
They
they
forget
just
those
completely
things.
forget their past, and just now remember that today you're a Luya, or you're a Kikuyu, or you're a Kalenjin. I think this is the one thing that is uniting Kenyans, and they're beginning to understand. At the fuel station, in the supermarket, nobody cares about what's your tribe.
Yeah.
We are all facing
Kenyans,
the
yes.
same thing. It is, and I think it's such a pivotal time that in the future, Kenyans will just vote according to what is your manifesto, and does it make sense?
Yeah.
And with these bills, with these current bills choking us, the way they're choking us.
Yeah.
It's interesting because the other day I saw on Instagram, Gabrielle Union.
Yeah.
A woman I really want to work with at some points in my career. With her husband, who's an ex-NBA player, say they for them in their marriage, in their marriage, her husband has been the order of the day. They share bills 50-50. So so I'd like to bring it down. Okay, so for them, they're in the US and they're both stars. This guy, I assume, being a basketball
incredibly
star,
rich.
being a basketball star, is obviously amazingly rich, and the inflation rate in America is not as bad as here. So maybe for me, I would start by saying, in their case, which I would say perhaps they are at a sweet spot where we were with Kibaki. You're sharing 50-50 with your wife, surely, and you're a basketball star who's got so much money. I am an advocate for men paying bills, providing for my family is a pleasure. It boosts my testosterone. I want to do it. In fact, if I could, if I was one of those guys like Dwayne Johnson earning $50 million per movie, my wife I would pay her for being a wife. I would pay her for breathing. I'm telling you. I would pay her for breathing. Just sit still, sit pretty, take care of the home, ground it, and you're getting paid.
Yes.
However, when I bring it down to where we are now, and the topic we've just discussed now, where we're saying, honestly, Kenyans, we are here, we're up to the core. Does the 50-50 maybe now come up?
No.
Because, see, let me start with you, because there's a problem here. Even in this economy, Melissa, we're in this economy together. My salary is the same as yours. And now this man has been taking care of the bills 10%, but now he's also getting choked. Surely.
No, because this is the thing, and I always say this, it takes more than just money to build a home and to build a family. Someone has to be pregnant, somebody has to take care of the kids, someone has to take care of the home. So, unless we're splitting even my roles 50-50, there's no way, I'm still doing my roles 100% and then also yours 50%. Is that 50-50? In totality, it's not. So, so for me, if you want us to do 50-50 on the bills, and then also, you can't tell me I'm doing my roles, I'm doing half of your roles, but I'm supposed to look at you as the leader of the house. How?
Giving birth is once. You gave birth once.
Giving birth is 10 months.
You
and
give
that's
birth once or
later of a
twice.
newborn.
It's an event that went. We're talking about a situation here, a monster that has come called economy. You can't sit and say,
Then help me with my roles also.
because I gave birth.
Then help me with my roles
So
also.
Melvin, I have a comment to make, but first I would like to remind our viewers that we are enjoying as we are talking.
I actually really like this side. Yeah.
We are enjoying
It goes really
Samantha
well with your-
Rose.
your dress.
It does, goes
Yeah.
very well.
Listen,
Now, that
So-
said,
you know, so, no, so actually,
I've
I would
got
say,
3 points
no,
to say on this, Melvin, yeah?
yeah.
Number one, actually, I just looked at a research yesterday, and I'm ready to provide you guys, that a lot of women at very senior positions are quitting. They're just quitting, like reaching somewhere and quitting and saying, no, we cannot do this anymore. A lot of women in there, like after 45, they're just quitting. And that said, the research found that as much as we're really trying to get the women to where the men are, the difference is 132% in terms of pay disparity, in terms of, you know, these are stars. Let's just come down to our level. And what it found is that actually the very act of getting pregnant, this maternity leave, when the woman comes back, she finds that she's actually been put behind. So it is time for men and even organizations to really start looking at really, truly the effect pregnancy and the nurturing, what it really does to the careers of women and apportion it. So that is the one thing. These are studies fresh completely that have come up. And therefore, as we are talking about this, about splitting the bills, I think the men really need to start to look at that, and even corporations need to start looking at that. Number two, I must say, as a woman who's been married for that long, what works for you as a couple is really, truly what works for you. There is nobody can come and
no blueprint.
prescribe. There's no blueprint.
Yeah.
For some people, for example, I'll say me and my marriage, we're very open with our finances. Our money is ours, all of us. And it does work for us. And I'm aware that for some people, it actually may not work. But however, my third point is this. For women, please allow yourself to be a woman and to be looked after. Like really, truly, I think it's even in itself, it makes the men stronger.
It's sexy.
It's sexy.
It's
Yeah, that's
sexy.
the one
Yeah,
I'm
it's
looking
sexy
for.
move, yeah.
Allow yourself to be looked after. Allow yourself to be a woman. So this thing of you're going to split bills, no, if the worst came to the worst, you just look after me.
Okay.
I'm not going to split
Now it is like this.
Yes, tell us you.
In the Western world, of course, and in the Asiatic countries, people split bills, and even you buy a house.
They do, by the way.
do.
Kabisa.
It's their culture, and me, I come back to
the
culture.
dollar.
Their culture of the Westerners is that they will do that. They will split. They will do. So it is okay to split bills if their culture allows you, and even to buy land and you share half. You buy this. We want to buy land. Bring your money. I bring mine. It becomes very difficult in our situation, in African setup. Because even your friends will start telling you, you go to a drinking party and then you told a friend that my wife, yes, we bought a car together. The guys, when you leave, they say, we are nabairiwa gari na bibi. What is he telling us? So for you, your ego is totally fractured. Because now, these characters who are telling you share with your wife, the bills of the house are the ones who are saying, this one cannot even keep a family together.
Yeah.
And even, our African women, you get angry, she gets angry one day.
And our mouth.
And their mouth.
She will destroy you in a
It's
second.
true.
She will destroy
It's
you.
true.
Everyone who listens to care.
And the decent one will
Okay, not
destroy
in
you.
public. Guy, in
The
public.
one who has some little decorum will destroy you in private.
Yes.
But the normal ones, which
Will
are the
go out.
majority, will go out, destroy in private,
Yeah.
but also go and tangazia kila mtu.
Listen,
By then,
It's
nowadays,
true.
it's music
The
taking care of
women
everything in the
do that,
house.
yeah.
That time is just 2 months' rent.
there's a former PS in the former regime who was married to a very good man. The lady one day came back and told the man, "You're out. I pay the bills, I do what?" The man had, in fact, the man found his briefcase and the suitcase at the watchman's quarters. Coming back at 9, he was told, your stuff, boss, unaenda wapi? The watchman, home. I'm no, your stuff is here, you can leave. So it is always good to take care of your woman,
Yes.
to have that authority over all that.
And I want to emphasize that, men, if you want to be the leader of the house, imagine you need to have that authority. Because me, I've said, by the way, and I'm not saying women should not pay any bills. There are certain bills
Yeah,
that I don't
they
mind
can
paying.
pay,
I
yeah.
don't mind paying our nanny. I don't mind paying for the food of the house.
Yeah.
Taking care of the home. Those kinds of costs, me, I don't have a problem paying. But car rent, by the way, me, I know myself.
Yeah,
you have to pay for that. I want to know that me,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
coming
Pay
home
for
to my
school
husband's
fees.
home.
Yeah.
You know, because me, I know myself. And I think women also have to be honest with themselves. Me, I know myself and I know my tongue. I know there can come a day where I'll just be like, and you're saying that to me in my house that I pay for. You know what I mean?
Already you're saying that and I'm paying for it. So anyway, already you're saying that I'm paying
No,
the
I
mortgage.
wouldn't say that if it's your house. Where
They
men,
say
you
it.
need to have some
It's
kind of dominion for us to look at you as a leader of the house. For me personally, so do your job, and then also men really, you guys really need to value the roles that women do that are not financial.
No, of course.
You
yes,
don't,
yes.
because when you're coming to say that we're in this together 50-50 financially, I'm just like, so you don't see all the other things that I do that don't cost money, but they cost a lot of time, they cost a lot of emotion. Imagine kids, it's more than just being pregnant to raise them. The amount of time, the amount of emotional effort, the amount of conversations you need to have. Nurturing children is a lot of work, and it's an important job.
Yeah.
So men, you need to value that, because if you valued that truly, you would not be coming to that same woman and saying, pay half of the bills because that's what's fair. It's not fair.
So I support what Dr. C said
Yeah.
in terms of there's no blueprint per se.
That's
And also when I began, I said also in this case, it's like we're in a war zone. And sometimes, times like this call for also measures that can help us survive this, the situation. So with also women empowerment and women now having proper managerial positions and top leadership positions, which means they're bringing some bread also after nurturing children.
Yes.
I'm just saying that therefore the conversation can happen in terms of not 50-50 per se, but however, how do we navigate this kind of season or dispensation where things are so difficult?
Yeah, well, it's not for you, but
and then once,
yes.
so it works for both.
There's space for
Melvin,
conversation.
as an
that's true,
African,
yeah.
let's just stick to our roles. As an African man,
Just do it.
Just do
nunua shamba, jenga
You
nyumba,
saw it.
peleka watoto shule.
Sawa. Na kama ni hivyo.
Lisha bibi.
Na kama ni hivyo, kama ni hivyo.
Change
Basi
jina.
kama hivyo.
Yeah.
Twende na sukuma na kunde nyama mtakula when I can afford. Are you okay?
Ni sawa.
I imagine I don't
I'll
mind
share
that.
anything
I
up.
don't mind that.
Me, I'll do 100%.
Yeah.
Like because my 1,000 has now become 500.
We
will
live
squeeze
the
it out.
lifestyle of
Are we
500.
Are we okay with that?
Yes.
That's okay.
Thank you. Then we can
Okay,
move on.
the last topic actually, which is connected to money in the home. Now let's expand it a bit to involve people coming to your home, your
Yeah.
visitors, whether it's your family, whether it's your friends. Yashinsky came out recently, and he was just saying, "Yo, guys, imagine with the economy the way it is, if you're coming to my house, just come with your own food. Come with the food. If you want me, I'll cook it for you even, but come with the food." Because if you don't, imagine,
No.
we'll just enjoy each other's company. Because
But-
things are too expensive for me to be creating a meal for everyone.
Na tupige stories za jaba.
But
Imagine.
listen, but Melissa,
Yeah, tell us.
even traditionally when you
Yeah.
are going to visit, even when your mother coming to visit
traditionally you go with something.
people carry something.
Yeah.
It is just bad culture that
Yes.
we've
Come
adopted.
Yeah.
It's bad, it's not totally un-African. It's not allowed. You are going to stay in someone's house and you are carrying nothing. Please, even if it's a bottle
That's
of
not
wine,
decorum, yeah.
even boyfriends going to their girlfriend's house
Yeah.
without even a bottle of wine, it's madness.
Yeah. Yeah, because I remember even growing up, my mom always used to tell us that you can't go empty-handed to
You
someone's
can't.
house. Bring the juice
How?
you're going to
How?
drink, bring the biscuits, whatever you want to eat.
How?
Bring it.
How? You're visiting someone. You will eat, you will drink, you will even use my toilet. You're coming the way you've come, like empty-handed. It's an African, it's uncouth, it's bad manners.
It's
See, it's
bad
bad manners.
manners.
I think,
Bad manners.
of course, referring to Nyashinsky, he's my friend.
Yes.
Nyashinsky is a millionaire. I think he was just saying it for the sake of saying
Yeah,
it
for
in
the
terms
sake,
of,
yeah.
to create gumzo, but although it brings up a good topic. Like,
Things are
where
too
are our
expensive, by the
manners? They can't
way.
come and see CEO, even if he's anishipeke yake, or even go, and people should stop that. How do you go visit your parents, for example? There are people who do
Yes.
that. Your parents,
Empty-handed.
this young generation, empty-handed.
Me, I feel like parents
come
is
with nothing.
different. Parents is different. I'm still your child. I'm
I've seen
still your
people
child.
going-
Take care of
yeah.
me still.
No.
On that one, I've got no,
But-
no big comments. Just that honestly, when I'm coming to visit you, in fact, if I can't figure out anything I can buy for you, I would
Yeah.
rather put something in the envelope.
They give you.
My 1,000, which has become 680.
Dr. C, what do you think? Give us your
I
last
think
thoughts.
my thoughts are that what Nyashinsky,
Yashinsky.
Nyashinsky,
Yes.
whatever he was talking about was very figurative.
Yes, yes.
But what he actually meant is that, you know, with the economy,
It's too expensive.
he really meant so that even if you're a relative and living or visiting another relative, please take something. But more so, a lot of people actually are living with relatives and they're not imagining it costs. It does cost. And the
Hey,
person
a
you just
lot.
mentioned is a millionaire. A lot of people, they just come and sit. And they just have, like, they don't feel they have to contribute anything. They completely,
bad.
absolutely no manners.
Yeah, I
It's
think
wrong.
people need to understand it's actually very expensive.
Pocket,
It's
yeah.
expensive.
And these days we have to budget.
Even if it was, look,
Yeah.
even if it was not, I cannot send my son to CEO with my cousin perhaps in New York
With nothing.
to stay with him over because now he's, maybe campus and whatnot.
Yeah.
I not send CEO something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
My
think
son
this
is there
why-
for 3 years, maybe or 2
This
years.
is why in the Western world, and I think everyone knows, if you're going to a Mzungu's house, it used to be told, you must have an appointment.
Yes.
You're
Yes,
not just
you can't
rocking
just show
up at
up.
the door for lunch, or we are here for dinner, and you are not in the budget.
Yeah, if you are
By the
invited
way,
4
yeah.
and you come the 5th person, you don't eat.
Yeah.
By the way, yeah,
Completely.
you'll go to a European house
There's
or
a
an
bit-
American house and they will eat food in your face and they won't offer you anything.
Yes.
You are not there in the
Really?
budget.
Yes.
I
They
just
will
sit there.
eat in
Yes.
your face
Yes.
and they will not offer you.
I'll
You
storm
don't
out.
just
And
rock
I've
up
come,
in, oh my goodness,
Yes.
there's such, you do not just rock up
You
in
don't.
people's homes, especially around about lunchtime.
And
Yeah,
dinner.
you will
dinner
not be
time,
fed, by the way,
you
and they'll
must
eat.
be invited.
if
They'll
you
eat
rock
in
up,
front of you.
having
must be-
eaten.
There's nothing like, I was just passing by.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't have that.
No,
yeah.
it doesn't really exist. But also, they've experienced such economic
Yes,
turmoil
yes.
in the past that they really understand what Nyasinski was talking about.
So it looks
Yeah.
like we're going in that direction.
we are already there, for heaven's sake.
Don't shop at our house, please, around mealtime. We don't have money for that.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I really enjoyed our conversation. I
Yeah,
don't know about
sure.
you guys. It's been really good.
It's been real.
It's been very real.
Yeah.
It's been very real. Hey, things are thick. Wow, wow, wow. In relationships and money too. We want to say thank you to our Samantha Wines. Is it #1 fastest selling
Yeah,
rosé
it's now
in the
the fast
country?
selling. Yes.
Yes. So thank you for Samantha Wines. If you guys don't have a bottle, maybe you don't know what you're doing, please get yourself a bottle. And we want to say another huge thank you to Maybelline. I really, really love both our makeups today. So really thankful for the makeup. And we will see you guys again next week. See ya.